Okay, so this is Shelly. I'm here with Shelly, and you want to talk a little bit about what you do? Like you're a busy lady. You got a family. You
Yeah,
work.
I'm married, 3 kids, and I work full time. I'm in sales, and yeah, so I'm going.
And something that stood out to me on our first phone call when you were deciding whether you were going to jump in or not was that you have a history of dancing and you were a dancer. So I thought that was interesting to
Yes.
hear
Yeah.
how that is still very much a part of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So being in shape, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that, but like that's closely tied to your identity because you're a
Yes.
getter.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I used to dance ballet on point, and I was in really good shape at that point, obviously. Um, and then, over the years, having kids and getting busy and whatever reasons we have, um, I've definitely put on way too much weight and just had a really hard time losing it before this point.
And I know we talked about this again on our phone call, but can you talk a little bit about like food wise things that you had tried that didn't work very well?
Yeah, I I have tried everything really. I've tried Weight Watchers, I've tried keto, I've tried um, just everything, and in fact, I have even tried um, doing macros before, and I really struggled. And the thing that I struggled with the most was that I was always hungry, and I would get to the end of the day and I'd have just a few calories left, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I ate so much during the day because I'm hungry all day long. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, forget it. I'm gonna blow it out of the water because I'm still hungry and it's the end of the day and I don't have enough left even for a meal kind of thing. And so I think that's been the biggest difference in doing it this way is I'm not hungry. In the last 3 weeks, I think I told you I had like 1 or 2 days where I was like, that's weird. I'm a little bit hungry today. But overall, I have not been hungry at all.
And you were kind of able to, instead of being stuck in that cycle of you get to the end of the day and you end up blowing it, and then the next day you try to like make up for blowing it the night before by eating less, and
Yes.
it happens again. And instead of being in that cycle of repeating that over and over, you were able to sort of just have a day where you were a little bit more hungry than usual, notice
Yep.
it, but
Yep.
know, that it wasn't going to throw you into
Yeah.
another downward spiral.
Yes. Yeah. It was. It wasn't a hunger that like threw me off track. It was just something I went, oh, that's weird. I'm a little bit hungry today. But it wasn't like before I felt like it was all consuming. Like I'm not gonna
Escape.
make it. I'm not gonna make it halfway through this day. I'm starving.
This is it.
And
This is the end.
this is the end. Yeah. And so now it was like, yeah, actually I've had plenty of calories and I'm able to get right back on track and keep my focus because I'm not hungry when I do that. And so it's motivating.
With what we've got you doing diet wise right now, how complicated do you feel like it is compared to the other things that you've tried? Like on a difficulty scale of 1 to 10, do you feel like it's really easy or a real pain in the butt? Or how do you feel in terms of ease?
It is super easy. It's the easiest thing that I've ever done. Um, it's so easy to be able to focus on just a couple things um, that I don't have to think that much. And no, it doesn't matter where I go, I'm able to stay on track. And so,
Where was your trip that you went on just a few short weeks ago?
so I went to Las Vegas, and yeah, typically not known for healthy food. Um, but I was able to stay on track, and I was able to enjoy some, yummy food without losing control.
Mhm.
And yeah, so the focus is really easy and definitely doable.
So in terms of other things you've tried, you also mentioned when we were on our first phone call, you mentioned that you had worked with a trainer in person before.
Yes.
What was that like, and what kind of progress did you see from that?
That was interesting. I showed up and my trainer said, "So, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "Okay, well, I would actually like for you to let me know what we're gonna do. I don't want to think about it. That's why I have a personal trainer." And so, so that was a challenge. My workout consisted of a lot of cardio, and I did a lot of elliptical machine. And then we'd meet once a week and do whatever we decided at that moment. And it was always me telling my trainer what I wanted to do that day.
Training you.
Yeah. So
how long did you do that for?
Well, it was supposed to be 12 weeks, but it ended up being, I think, 7. Because it wasn't a good fit. So ended up going a different direction with that.
Gotcha. What my approach is essentially showing people, which the fitness industry does not do very well, showing people the priority things that you've got to focus on first that are going to make the hugest physical changes for you, so that it's both powerful but also really simple. And you've done a really good job at focusing on the important things that we've established are important for you to be focusing on. So what's happened is you've been able to experience the freedom in flexible dieting. You know, like pizza and Taco Bell are both in your diet over the past day, and you're dropping weight like crazy. Like, I think that's really the beauty of flexible dieting, is it almost seems, like we were saying at your last check-in, it almost seems too good to be true.
It does.
It is so simple. And what it does for people is that, like, it essentially sets you up to be independent. Like, you're learning tools to where it's creating freedom and control and independence for you. And I think that that's what people are missing in the fitness industry these days. It's like almost like the other diets out there are they make you be reliant on the diet or the system or the coach or the program. And this is like the opposite of that. But
yeah, definitely. And also with that, the flexible part, as I told you before, I strive to eat plant-based. But we were traveling, and so that it's not a hard and fast thing for me. It's just a personal value. I want to eat plant-based. But our trip, it just wasn't as easy to do that with the group I was with and whatnot. And so even so, I was able to switch gears and still stay on track, even though I completely ate differently than I would at home. And so it's so flexible. That's just,
you still were able to hit those goals because it's flexible dieting and you're not limited to a certain yes and no foods list, and it's not rigid. You don't have to have everything in Tupperwares, and you're not eliminating entire food groups. You're learning the science, though. You're learning the real science of what's built into our bodies. And because you're just learning how your body responds to food and the science of fat loss, which is pretty simple, that travels with you anywhere. It's just the whole concept of, like, people are not, they're following a set of rules and teaching them anything.
Right.
And the other thing is that those programs, it's almost like they're doing their best, but if you don't have one-on-one attention, and if you don't have somebody that can actually sit down, look at your stuff and tell you what's priority for you to learn, general programs like that really can't teach. Even if they're trying to teach value, trying to give value to people, they just can't. It has to be on a one-to-one basis, because it has to be custom, because it's for you. So I think, the programs and the coaches that coach a million people at one time, they mean well. It's just that
they're spread too thin.
Yeah, and people trying to use that as a method to get in shape, they don't really have a chance either. So I think it's just kind of revealing to people that it has to happen on a one-to-one basis, and you've got to be understanding what's actually going on. First of all, for anyone watching, Shelly is in week 3. She's in her 3rd week of her 12-week program. And even with that, you've so far lost 10 pounds. Off the visual side by side on here. But I mean, your body is you're losing size, your skin is toning up. I mean, everything has changed. And I
Yes.
think that that's just really remarkable that you've been able to do that, even with you have now no gym access, none.
Right.
So even with a trip to Vegas and a
Yeah.
worldwide pandemic, you have still done
Yes.
incredibly well, and the results speak for themselves. So I think
Right.
that's why I really wanted to do this now,
Yeah.
and
I'm
to
so glad that I have this plan because it, once again, doesn't matter whether I'm at work or I'm at home, I know what to eat. Whether I'm traveling, I know what to eat. And then also the workouts, whether I have a gym or I have nothing, I
right,
know I still am able to do what I need to do. And
right.
that's been really awesome.
Yeah, you've done
And
incredible
fun,
well.
fun workouts for sure.
Good deal. Yeah, I think that's it's like a huge victory. It's always a victory anyway, but even in the midst of this where it's like A, you've got limited access to you're no
Craziness.
access to the gym.
Yeah.
B, we're all surrounded by food right now, and that's where
Yeah, I was gonna
people
say we
really
have
get in
full
trouble.
access to the entire kitchen.
Pantry is right there, open
Not
24/7.
not just the lunch I brought to work, but literally everything.
As much as it's not adherence and being able to stick with a routine is the number one most important thing for people to make progress. So
Mhm.
some people look for like the most extreme workouts or the most
Mhm.
rigid, thinking that that's going to give them the most progress. And what you've really showed people is that having something that's flexible, that can
Mhm.
adjust to your life no matter what's going on, that is the most powerful thing you can possibly have. Um,
Yes, definitely.
so in other words, like going really hard for 2 weeks
Mhm.
as opposed to being able to stick with a program that's flexible for a few months, like sticking with a program that you can actually stay on and not fall off of, that's always going to be more powerful than doing some crazy detox or fad diet for a couple weeks and then falling off. So
Yeah, definitely.
awesome. Well, I think that was the majority of the stuff I wanted to cover. And again, just wanting to like show your results, I think that's the most powerful thing. Both your weight chart with your looks like your weight just took a walk off a cliff and just jumped off the edge.
Yes.
Like, is this real?
Phew. Yeah,
Yeah. And then just
been great.
visually, you've done wonderful. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for hopping on here.
Thank you, Molly. You're the
All right.
best.
Talk soon.
All right, bye.